Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tikiyaki TV. I'm Jim Baki from the Tikiyaki Orchestra, and sorry it's been probably a minute since I've done a video here. I was in Spain for 3 weeks in almost the entire month of October, and yeah, I had a couple of videos prepared, but I did not get to do more, so I'm getting back into the saddle here. As you can see, my hair got longer, and it's been a while. So anyway, we're going to talk about a new record today, a new record that came out this year. You know, I've been doing the vintage stuff, but I want to make sure I cover the new records by new people, especially people that are my friends, and especially this one I did work on. So I'm pretty stoked to be a part of it, and that is this record by Frankie and the Poolboys, Endless Drummers. So my friend Ferenc Dobronyi from Frankie and the Poolboys, a great band. We've played with them a few times. He's played with us a few times. He decided that he wanted to do something most people are not brave enough to do, and that is record a different drummer on each song on the record. So it's like not only the different drummers, but lots of different people. Of course, you have the lineup of Frankie and the Poolboys, which is Ferenc, John O. Jones, Jeff Turner, Karen Dobronyi, and Eric Rule, who's the drummer for Frankie and the Poolboys. But that is the main band. They're all playing on the record, but there's all these other people, including myself, playing on this record. And yeah, so Ferenc decided I want to pick an appropriate drummer for each song to go along with what the song and the style of the drummer, you know, the drumming. So pretty crazy, considering, you know, it's different drummers, probably different drum kits, but it all manages to sound really cohesive, while at the same time having all these different cool styles. So if I read the back, he covered a lot of different, not typically they're just more of surf, you know, pop surf instrumental. It's all instrumental. But it's usually Frankie's kind of a surf, a little bit of garage. They go into Psyche territory, but they do all of that stuff and more on here. So a little description here. There are 12 new original songs and one classic that touch on the many styles of the 60s and 70s instrumental music that have inspired me my entire life. Surf, soul, Eleki, Psyche, spaghetti western, exotica, with a little dub, new wave rock and roll in the mix. So yeah, it's got a lot of cool, some fuzz guitar on here. There's all kinds of cool stuff on here. It's 12 songs on this, but if you go to the iTunes, there are 2 extra songs. One of them is an instrumental version of Walk Away, Renee, which is really cool. And another song called, it's a vocal song that Ferenc's original, called More Memories Than Time. And I really wish he had included it on this record, because it's a really cool, super garagey fuzz guitar. Sounds like something off the Nuggets box set. Either way, this is a great record. I'll run down the track list, and I'll talk about some of the drummers on here. It's basically a who's who of the surf community of drummers, and a who's who of Ferenc's friends. Featuring Dusty Watson. We all know Dusty from Slacktone, probably the greatest surf drummer out there right now. Tony Bald, Naotaka Seki from the Surf Coasters in Japan, Gracie Malley, Enrico Ragni from the Bradipos 4, Jonathan Rodriguez, Peter Dodonker from Surfer Joe, Jeremy Rexford, Lorenzo Valdembrini, the guitar player from Surfer Joe, but also a really great drummer in his own right, Pablo Baza from the Tikiyaki Orchestra, Tikiyaki 5-0, Eric Rule from Frankie and the Poolboys, and Martin Jones. And then all these other guests on here. Ferenc, of course, Jono, Jeff, and Karen, all from Frankie and the Poolboys. Sam Benedetti, Brian Manzo, Shane Van Dyke, Tete Orta, John Paul Ballack from Tikiyaki Orchestra, and myself. A lot of people on this record. That's a big undertaking. Ferenc bravo for doing something like that. I always thought that would be a cool idea, but you were crazy enough to do it. But it is very cool, and there's a lot of great tunes on here. I'll go through side A, Grind My Beans, that's Dusty on drums. Wiggle Room, Psyche Go Eleki, Swamp Thing, that's a song I mixed on this. I also mastered the entire record. So I did mixed one song, mastered, and I played on a song I'll mention later. Tattoo of a Broken Heart, Moria Mon Amour, East of the Reverb Dial, and then side B is Chroma Key, The Ambassador's Twist, Quicksilver, Brotherhood Way, Super Bloom, and You Only Live Twice, which I played vibraphone and some percussion on, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, some of my favorite personal tracks on here. Quicksilver has my rhythm section from Tikiyaki Orchestra on there, but it's also a very cool song. I think my favorite song on this record is Brotherhood Way, which has Eric Rule on the drums, which is their drummer for Frankie. And yeah, it has this kind of the beat goes on kind of shuffly thing. It's real chill and really nice kind of exotica feel to it. Really dreamy. That's my favorite song on the record. Ambassador's Twist is really cool. That's Lorenzo laying it down. And that song does sound like it would be at home on a Surfer Joe record. It's got that vibe. Let's see what else. Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing has Gracie Malley from the Greasy Gills on drums, and that's cool. It's you know, appropriately titled. It's very swampy. It's kind of got a cool kind of little bit of a distorted guitar on it, and a really bitchin' sax solo. I had fun mixing that song. Of course, it was really well recorded, so it was very easy to mix. Ferenc, great job on that. On this whole thing, actually. I mean, the whole record sounds really good. And stylistically, and you're never bored. It goes through, you know, garage, psych, some real, you know, kind of traditional surf, you know, and kind of everything of that era, 60s, 70s. Really cool stuff on here. East of the Reverb Dial is a very cool song. Chroma Key, very cool. This whole record is great. You guys go out and get this record. And for those of you that put videos on Instagram and TikTok, you know, this record is available on streaming, which means you can put it in your videos. So it really helps the artist to, if you go do a video search, when you make one of your videos or whatever, you're making a, you know, tiki art or whatever you're doing, you know, your vacation, you could plug in music. Man, plug in some music from this Frankie and the Poolboys, or Tikiyaki, or any of us in the community, because the streaming really helps. It's great, of course, to buy the vinyl. Really great to support the artist that way, but it takes a lot of streams to generate income. So again, this helps us all out. You know, those little videos you put on TikTok, if it gets streamed enough times and enough views, it really kicks up the streaming income for the artist. So I would say take this record, go find it, Frankie and the Poolboys Endless Drummer, on your streaming, you know, and your Instagram and all that stuff. You can plug these songs in and put them to your videos or whatever your video you're making. But other than that, buy this cool record, because comes on bitchin' purple vinyl. Let's see, it's a very cool looking vinyl, kind of a marbly vinyl. Endless Drummer by Frankie and the Poolboys. Ferenc, great job on this record. I can't recommend it enough. Guys, you got to get the new music too. I know the vintage stuff is cool, but you know, there's a lot of us out here making music, and we could really, you know, use the boost. So Frankie and the Poolboys Endless Drummer. Please like and subscribe to the channel, of course. I know I have to say that. And check out Frankie and the Poolboys, Tikiyaki, and many other great bands that are new, that are doing, you know, surf, exotica, garage, whatever. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, message me. You can email me at tikiyakitv@gmail.com. And if you have a subject you want maybe discussed on the show, or have a question about Tikiyaki or anything else, feel free to just shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to answer that. And yeah, again, like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Aloha!